Creator versus ByuN is upon us. I apologize, the team logos may be a little bit scuffed, a little bit off. But we are jumping into this and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have our blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. The South Korean Terran down in this series, by the way. We're jumping into game 2, and he is down 0-1. Can he force the ace match? It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Club NV, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator. Here we go. We are getting into game number 2 here. Again, we missed out on game 1. Also, I had assumed that Wardy had gone for Dark versus Hero, but I have just been informed, because we're both in the same lobby, that Wardy actually jumped on Creator versus ByuN. Wardy was casting game 1 of this series, which unfortunately I believe means that no one is casting Hero versus Dark, or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I think Inu's casting Hero versus Dark. Potentially. I hope so, at least. I hope that someone is able to cover that series. Regardless, we're jumping into game number 2, and Creator looking strong so far. Looking strong, going for a gate expand. ByuN going for a double gas opener. Okay, double gas opener out of ByuN, something more aggressive. This does lead into a faster factory. It leads into a delayed CC on the low ground. So a much more aggressive build here by ByuN. We'll see what he has in store for us. We'll see what he does bring to the table here. Where are we going? Where are we headed? Probe Scout, of course, does confirm both gases. Creator knows to take more defensive stance. Probe are going to be skirting the edge of the map here towards the left-hand side. Going for a proxy pylon. Oh my god. Creator, calm down. ByuN is looking for proxies, by the way. He's checking his third base locations, but he's not checking the fourth base. He does not get eyes on the pylon. ByuN going for a CC on the high ground, and he's opening up Widow. Wait, what? Opening up Widow Mine. He's going for a committed mine drop. Okay. Now, this could be a committed mine drop, or this could be 2 Widow Mines with Mass Marine as a drop. I'm curious if the Marines will come alongside the Widow Mines with the drop play. This is something that Maru and ByuN have been quite fond of. They have been playing around with it together. But before we can get into drop play, we have 2 gateways back at home, and Creator throws down a 3rd gateway. It's going to be a 3-gate opener with a proxy across the map. Creator being hyper aggressive here. ByuN does slip in. Big scout. Big moment here for ByuN. Does get into the main base. Does get eyes on another gateway. Reaper goes down. ByuN, he has a piece of the puzzle. Yeah, he's going straight for the Cyclone. Widow Mining, getting in position here at the natural, at the ramp. I assumed it was going to be a mine drop, but my apologies. This is going to be a Cyclone drop. Something more modern. Makes sense. This is a more modern build. Cyclone drops have been quite prevalent here in the new meta. They do amazingly when it comes to shutting down the economy and killing probes, killing workers in general. Cyclones are terrifying. And they are moving out. Interesting, only moving out with 1. So usually the Terran player would wait for the second Cyclone and move out. Ooh, big mine shot does go off. Taking down one of those Adepts. Cyclone does get across the map. Do we have anything to defend back at home? We have 1 Adept. Do force a warp in. 1, 2 probes go down. Good damage so far here by ByuN. As we force another warp in into the main base. At the same time, ByuN expanding on the low ground. Keeping up with the army, forcing micro to take place here on both fronts. Decent target firing out of Creator. He does swat away the drop. Does focus down the Cyclone. Very big pickup. Very nicely done. Remember, these are vanilla Marines. They don't have stim. They don't have combat shields. The Cyclone was really the main backbone of the army. As ByuN is forced back. Behind this, we're getting into tank production, getting into a 3-1-1 setup. Pretty standard setup here on 2 bases. So far, the drop play hasn't really been worth it for ByuN. But again, I believe that he pulled away from committing to the drop in favor of defending against the push, which was worth it. He does defend, does deflect Creator. As he gets another 2 probes. Very nice damage done here by ByuN. But it looks like he will finally be shot. Oh my god, finally gets shut down. Medevac falls, the Cyclone as well. Good cleanup at a Creator. And now we can get into his 3-base economy. Third Nexus is in production, has been scouted. And we have our tech of choice, Blink. It's going to be Blink Stalkers here out of Creator. Unfortunately, he wanted to be more aggressive, but he was denied that. And especially with this bunker and the tank on the low ground, we can't really break in. Not into the natural, at least. The main base is maybe a little bit more exposed. We dive on the tank! No fear whatsoever. The tank goes down. The bunker as well. Repair's not fast enough. The repairs are not there in time. Marines are trying to break through, but remember, they have vanilla Marines. 3 SCVs go down. Marines as well. Oh, and Creator, he is taking control of that natural base. Trying to at least... That bunker? That tank holding on. Barely holding. Behind this, Creator going for a gateway heavy composition, working towards charge. 4th gateway on the way as well. As we blink behind the gas geyser. We're getting caught out though. Yeah, Blink still on cooldown, just barely coming off. Good target firing out of Creator, but does lose a lot of Stalkers. Yeah, a bit of a blundered Blink. 5 Stalkers go down. Pretty expensive loss there for Creator. And this position is becoming more and more secure. ByuN now on 2 tanks. I would love to see a bunker as well, just to be safe. ByuN, he's cutting corners, being a little bit greedy. Stim is now done. To be fair, with the completion of the Stim, we don't need the bunker. Don't need the bunker, not anymore. ByuN, he is secure. And Creator, he's establishing his 3rd. Getting his 3rd up and running. Gateway explosion. He's head up towards 8 gateways. We have the river production well underway for Immortal production as well. First Immortal has arrived. And the goal for Creator is just to contain. Oof. Big volley. But the goal is to contain the Terran as best we can. ByuN does go for the Stim. Goes for the dive. Gets a Stalker. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 Stalkers do go down. Behind this Creator, now he's working towards the splash damage. The Bay is on the way. Forge for +1. The Bay should be for Colossus. We're getting in towards the mid-game. Now, ByuN still, I believe, has yet to throw down a 3rd, which is interesting. I'm curious. I'm keeping my eye on the production. How hard will we commit? Do we throw down 2 more Raxes, go up to 5 on 2 bases for a 2-base all-in, or do we throw down a 3rd CC? Without the Raxes, it feels like we're going to be throwing down a 3rd CC on location as we move out. That's the feeling that I'm getting, but we'll see. Creator, he does get supply blocked. Oh, the boys are being... We're going for the all-in. I'm like, there's no 3rd CC yet. We should throw it down, right? No, Papa. We go for the 2-base all-in. The boys are being pulled. The Observer does miss it, by the way. Creator, he does miss the... He does see the army, but he does miss the boy pool. Creator is on the high ground, though. He has force fields. There's no pushing up this ramp. Not easily. And there we go. The army has been revealed. Force field, not ideal. Does slow the army down, but doesn't really cut it up. Colossus in production. Shield batteries are on the way. The rocks have been knocked down. Across the map, Zealot run by wreaking havoc here, disrupting the economy and the reinforcements. This area, though, it's too wide open. ByuN, loading a snowball out of control, does bust in. Overcharge is popped, and the Colossus arrives just in time. Now, bold move here. We have 1 Colossus into a Disruptor, not a 2nd Colossus. Crazy. Can we pull this off? Tank fire going off here. We're breaking through. The Colossus putting in a lot of work, but is it going to be enough? We dive on top of the Colossus. The Disruptor. The Nova does not go off. Does not connect. And ByuN, he may just have too much. Boys are being pulled. The Zealots from behind. They come in from behind. A lot of probes are falling. And even with the boy pull, it's not going to be enough. We camp the production. Robo goes down. ByuN is completely all in. Can we warp in another wave of Zealots? Just one wave of zealots is all we need. That's easier said than done. Yeah, we're being forced further and further back. Reinforcements, they arrive just in time. Can we focus down the tanks? It's so close. We get one. We got one tank. We have both tanks, but there's just too much Marines. Too many Marines, too many Marauders. ByuN has done it. He has broken through. The all-in was successful. GG gets called, and we force the ace match. GG, well played. Again, oh god, the force field initially was a little bit lackluster for Creator. Unfortunately, just barely wasn't able to get up a defense in time. The disruptor wasn't worth it. You saw the disruptor died instantly. Not a single Nova did connect. And to be fair, it's unlikely that the Colossus, if it was a Colossus, that would have dealt even more damage. It would have been rough. Would have been rough regardless of what was made. And now we're getting into game number 3. We're getting to the ace match. All the way, Bobby, all the way. Creator, he's saying that if he he's saying that if he hadn't harassed, if he hadn't warped in across the map, he probably wins. Like if only he had his zealots back at home. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, it was a close defense. It was a very close defense. But they're just talking about the game. Yeah, he's talking about he's talking about like even if he's going for his zealot counterattacks, even though he's killing SCVs, like it doesn't matter. Like the the all-in is still going strong, and he's gonna die anyway. So yeah, they're just discussing the end of that game. Both ByuN and Creator. Again, they're good friends. For those that remember, for those that do recall, these two players, they used to be on the same team. They used to be on Prime way back when. And I'm pretty sure they're still good friends. Based on this discussion, yeah. They're laughing with each other. But yeah, old friends from times gone by. Yeah, that's why ByuN and Maru are good friends as well. I mean, I say ByuN, Maru, and Creator. They all used to be on Prime together. They're all good friends as a result. Many years later. It's really cool to see. Really cool to see. The nostalgia. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into the ace match, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. Basically, Creator was talking about how like if only I didn't like harass across the map, if I had everything back at home. Likewise, he was talking about his Warp Prism, right? Like he had the Warp Prism across the map. If he had it back at home to juggle, to preserve his Colossus, to save his Haddock units as well, to add some extra micro, like yeah, there's a lot of potential there if he had his Prism and his Zealots back at home. And he's saying like, I'm so silly for not doing that. And then ByuN's like, yeah, you're silly. It's like, next time you'll get me, Papi. Next time. Shaking my head. Yeah, they're just bantering. As we are easing our way in. This time, of course, we do have ByuN setting up with his Rax on the high ground. A single gas has been taken. This is looking to be a Rax expand economic opener out of ByuN, as opposed to the previous game, which was more aggressive. Remember, last game it was double gas into a faster factory. This time, Rax expand CC on the high ground, though. It is going to be a little bit delayed, but it is going to be safer as a result. ByuN, he won't be disrupted by that probe, and it will get his CC on the way in the main. Meanwhile, Creator is in the dark a little bit here. Okay, he confirmed. He confirmed the single gas. Creator, he's aware. And this probe is on a journey. It's on a mission. Where we go? Ooh, meanwhile, ByuN, he skips the Reaper. Bold move. So, because ByuN skips the Reaper, he cannot chase down the probe. He cannot hunt it down. He cannot look for it. The Marine is stuck at home. ByuN also doesn't SCV scout. For those that are curious, this is very common with ByuN, both ByuN and Maru. Both ByuN and Maru, they rarely SCV scout in a TVP. And as a result, Creator, he can get away with some cheese. I mean, I say some cheese. He can get away with a proxy. It's going to be a proxy Stargate. With this Stargate play, Creator is going for a fast Oracle. He's going to be headed in towards the main base. He's going to be looking for some economic damage here in the main of ByuN. As the Adepts are moving out. Adepts going to be harassing the natural. Meanwhile, the probe comes back in for a scout, getting eyes on the timing of the natural base. Marines, they do move down to the low ground. But the Adepts are here. Oh, who traps who? The Adepts, they do catch these Marines. And all three of them should go down. Good cleanup here, but here comes the Cyclone. Cyclone makes it just in time, but we drag the Cyclone out of position. And with this, we can go in with the Oracle. A little bit mistimed. The Oracle's still on the way. But we do confirm the Cyclone. Once again, just like game number 1, we're heading towards a Cyclone drop variation. Or sorry, game number 2. Ooh, meanwhile, that's a lot of gateways. Second and third gateway on the way. This is not normal. We're committing quite hard here. Creator looking to be very aggressive. He's waiting for the second Oracle as well. The first is already done. Cyclone job moves out. Creator should be getting in position. He has 2 Adepts. He has a shield battery. Cyclone does arrive. Oh, and he's going to get some probe damage. 2 workers do go down. And do we have a warp in? Warp gates aren't done. Warp gates not done yet. 4 probes fall. Again, Cyclones, they annihilate workers so quickly. But we get into the main. We get into the main base. SCVs are going down as well. Creator doing a nice amount of counter damage. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3, he gets 4. 4 SCVs. 4 SCVs, a Marine, and even more workers at the National. Oh my god, ByuN out of position. Not where he needs to be. We'll lose an Oracle though. Good pick off. Bit of a lapse in control from Creator. So suddenly that wasn't as worth it. Looking at the units lost tab. He killed 7 SCVs, yes, but for an Oracle, that's, I would say, almost an even trade. Cyclones, they catch 2 gateway units as well. This one Cyclone achieving so much. At the same time, though, we actually get some more SCVs. Is that another... It was, okay. I was like, was that another Oracle? It was. It was another Oracle here. Getting extra 3 workers. Oracle's racing back home. Trying to chase down this drop, chase down this Cyclone. Again, it's been a very chaotic start. Very chaotic game so far here by our players. And eventually, this Cyclone is going to go down. Eventually. As it does take quite some time for Phoenix to kill a medevac. Again, good luck on here on the Phoenix. And it looks like, we should finally bring it down. Barely. We get the Cyclone at least, but no, the medevac does escape. ByuN does escape with the medevac. It is going to be racing back home. Meanwhile, speaking of back at home, we are building ourselves up towards a 2-1-1, towards a now 3-1-1 setup, and very early tank production. A very aggressive push here from ByuN, moving out without stim, by the way. But we are pulling the boys. Boys, they have been pulled here. They're going to be repairing this medevac, and I imagine pushing with this. Yep, there we go. We are pushing with this attack. 2 tanks, now 3 tanks here for ByuN. Very committed and very late scouts. Very late reaction from a Creator. Does see the tanks, does see the army. Phoenixes are on, sorry, sentries are on the way. Where are the force fields? They're not able to be thrown down. Not in time. We do collapse here on top of the army. Overcharge is popped. Overcharge putting in some work, but it gets depowered. No shot. It gets depowered, and ByuN, he's doing it. He's breaking through. We're trying to flank the army, but the tanks, they just annihilate that flank of Creator. Without the overcharge, there's just not enough here. There's not enough to defend. The boys are being pulled. Stalkers, they try to come in from the right-hand side. We do lift up one of the tanks. Oh, it's so close, but there are so many Marines. The tanks are barely going down. There's one tank left. 23 probes did fall. And can we survive? Another tank rocks up. Not like this. And the tank does so much here to the Stalkers. GG gets called. It's too much. The natural base has been broken. And ByuN will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. ByuN with the all-ins. 2 base all-in in game 2. 2 base all-in here in game number 3 as well. Pull the boys. ByuN clearly inspired by the most honorable of honorables. Clearly inspired by home mono. GG, well played. ByuN does take it in the end. My condolences to Creator. He had a good showing. Honestly, game 2 was close. Game 2, Creator barely didn't hold, and he was kind of scolding himself as well in the aftermath, talking about how he barely did not defend. But could have easily gone his way. Could have been a 2-0 in favor of Creator. Just barely wasn't. With that, ByuN advances on, and we have a PvT in the lower semifinals. We have ByuN versus Gumiho coming up next.